Welcome back to another edition of Inside Anderson Raptors Athletics here on AndersonRaptors.org and ESP Media powered by Sidearm Sports. I'm Jason Griefer. Athletic Director Chris Newton joining us as always. Newt, good to have you back here on the podcast once again. Let's get right into it because we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Maybe some games are going to get played this week. Maybe not. Who knows the way Mother Nature has in plan. But let's talk about your baseball team first right now. 5-3 in league play. That's actually tied for the most wins in conference play right now. With those five, we look at the way things are shaping up right now as of this Monday morning, as we're talking, and you're slated to play Kings twice this week, and also West Claremont series lurking over the weekend with us potential games against Elder and Coleraine. Also, if Mother Nature cooperates too. But so that's coming up this week. But I want to get your thoughts on your most recent outing, a 10-0 win over Winton Woods this past Friday. And Leo Mullenkamp going perfecto on the mound. A perfect game. Doesn't give up anything in the 5-inning win there. Just take us through that game and what kind of shot in the arm that gives a team in the middle of the season to have one of your pitchers go out and throw a perfect one.
Well, the great thing, Leo is a great story because, we always talk about everybody in the program has to be ready to play. It doesn't matter if you're on the varsity starter, varsity bench, JV starter, JV bench. You always have to be ready to play. And Leo is a great example of that because Leo has been our starting shortstop at the JV level. So we got a few injuries here and there, and Leo's been performing well. So Leo got a chance to come up and play some varsity. He was playing second base. He's been playing some infield for us at the varsity level and has played very well. Well, we were playing like 13 games in 6 days there last week. And so we were kind of pitching thin. So, they went to Leo and said, hey, need a couple innings out of you. So Leo hops on the mound and just throws an absolute gem. I don't even think, Jace, from what I understand, he didn't even have a 3-ball count on an individual. And, in high school baseball, if you can just go attack the zone, kids are going to hit the ball, but we pay big money for our players to field the ball. And so that's what they did and worked out perfect. But yeah, how about that? A sophomore throwing a a perfect game and wasn't even slated really to be a pitcher.
Has he earned that call up to the varsity?
Oh, I would think if he's not here to stay right now, I don't know. I think we might have to look at something. It's pretty cool. His brother's on the team as well. His brother Max is a senior. So it's a great family. Dad's a baseball coach at Sycamore High School, long time at Reading. So it's a great Anderson family, and it's Leo, both Leo and Max are super kids and multi-sport athletes, and it's great to see.
Does it give your team an extra shot in the arm when somebody comes up like this who isn't expected to come in and perform the way he has? As you said, he's bounced between the JV and the varsity and also has not been on the mound. Does that give your team an extra shot, given that this is surely had to be a pretty darn big surprise that he was able to come in and not only eat up a few innings, as you alluded to, but go the distance and not give up anything?
Oh, without a doubt. And it gives, the way kids are sometimes, you got a kid that comes up from JV and, kids are looking, all right, what's this guy all about? And it's instant credibility. He came up, I think the first game he was up was when we played Turpin. And I think he got a knock or two. And again, it's instant credibility when you're doing that. And now you're not the new guy, you're one of the guys. And so, that's the big thing right now. Leo's not the new guy at all on the block. He's one of the guys. And the way our baseball team is playing right now, I have, we got really good hopes for them. We've been splitting with teams. We finally took the double from them, and we're starting to play really well. And now we're getting into some really meat and potatoes of our schedule.
Switching gears and talking about your softball team, they're slated to be back in action this week as well. Again, if Mother Nature decides to cooperate and allow that to happen, that might be another story for things going forward. But as of now, as of Monday morning, we're recording this 6 game schedule between now and Saturday night. and obviously a number of those are going to be in league play. How are the coaches planning on going about keeping these players sharp and also refreshed, knowing they're not going to have a lot of downtime in between?
Yeah, and that's the difficult thing, especially, softball pitchers, they can go, 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 go. But again, it's kind of nice to not have your pitcher throw 17 straight days. So Anna Owen really handles the gist of all the schedule. And we have a freshman, Bailey Funk, that she's going to have to step it up this week. And besides her first base duties, she's going to have to step it up and give some good quality innings on the mound. And she will. She's a great kid. But then, it's about, you need some great senior leadership to be there as well. And we got some really, really good kids: Katie Wegman, Lily Conley, Georgia Conley, Olivia Wasserstrom. I mean, those seniors right there are some really, really, really good leaders. And what they'll do is, that just the expectations of, hey, listen, you got to be ready to go all the time. And we know that when we play those upper echelon teams, it's difficult. It's difficult for us. So, but we want to make sure we're going out and we're competing. Again, Lebanon is as good as they get. And we were able to give them everything they could handle the one game, and then the other game kind of got away from us. But that's what we want to do. We want to be able to go out and compete and give ourselves an opportunity to win. And with that senior leadership, I mean, that's what they're going to need to do.
So a lot of action going on there, and more and more action building as the spring season goes along. And obviously a huge one coming up for track and field later on in the week. You're hosting a big one, hosting a big meet this coming weekend. And so a lot of things going to be going on. A lot of the logistical things have to be in place for that to happen. Obviously, Andy Wolf does a tremendous job and getting those things ready, as we've talked about here on the program in the past. And of course, he's joined us here on the show in the past as well. But so you've got a lot of schools that are going to come in for this meet. It's going to be a busy weekend for you there at Anderson. Kind of give us set this event up for us. And also, do you think this event is kind of that final stretch of the regular season over the next couple of weeks, where maybe this is kind of the leading edge of, we're on the verge of starting to taper our athletes, so that with the postseason less than a month away, they're not burned out, if you will, by that time comes? Are we seeing this Anderson meet and maybe one or two next week as that final push before the taper begins?
Yeah, I don't really know, to be honest with you. I know Carrie Lee, with our distance runners, you don't get better training than what she provides. But I think we'll be, still pushing it here for the next couple of weeks, because we've got leagues. What is that? The second week of May, we got leagues. So I think right around then is when kind of the tapering will start and get you ready for, districts and stuff like that. But I think we're going at it pretty hard right now. I mean, we've been going, 2 to 3 meets a week, and they do a great job of alternating which kids are going to which meets. And that's the big thing that Andy, Kevin, and Carrie do, is we might have 3 meets scheduled, but they're not going to have kids go and participate in all 3. They're going to split you up. And, that's what they did last week. And so that's been very beneficial. But, this is a huge week. Patty Sneed is in charge of the weather this week. So, if she doesn't get it done, we're going to have to talk about things. But we're excited. And again, this is a great test run. There's 20 plus teams coming, 20 plus. I think sometimes it's closer to 30. I'm not 100% sure, but this is a great meet, and it kind of sets the tone for, our league championship. We got some fun things going on too, Jace. We got senior night is Thursday night. And then we have some really fun things with Andy Wolf. Carrie Lee's done a great job of going out and getting individuals from the past. I mean, this might sound hard to believe, Jace, but he's been coaching for 51 years. So there's a few alumni out there at Anderson. And so we're kind of having an alumni mile run. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. We're excited about that. And then we're also having another little kid run.
Always a great chance to showcase Anderson High School, obviously, when you have an event like this as well. Does you feel like that gives kind of your entire athletic department, entire school district kind of a shot in the arm when you're able to bring in all these, outside schools like this and be able to show off your campus in the way that you're able to do so with the way Andy Wolf and your entire staff gets things set up and organized?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, we will have people back here at Anderson High School that haven't been back here in 10 years, 15 years. And there's been a lot of things, done here in the last 10 years, new additions and stuff like that. So it'll be neat, and Andy, the Andy Wolf track, that was done about 8 years ago. So I'm sure there are people that haven't been here to see all this. So, and yeah, I think the more people you can get back into your stands, the more alumni, I think it just speaks volumes about your program. So we are super excited about it. And this is going to be a great Thursday and Friday night are going to be great nights.
Talking about teams that be able to get a little bit of a focus back on them now. Let's talk about your lacrosse programs. Let's start with the boys first. And I was talking about getting a focus back on them because they've had a little bit of a time off here. They've been off for nearly 2 weeks now since the series against Lebanon a couple of weeks ago, or nearly 2 weeks ago. But back in action this week, you've got 3 games slated. The first being McNick on a Tuesday. Then you slated to go to Kings on Wednesday, and then Friday to Cincinnati Country Day. So I'm curious there, it's going to be 13 days off in between games by the time they take the field on Tuesday against McNick. How have they used that time off, and how have the coaches worked with the guys so that they're not rusty coming out of this nearly 2-week layoff heading into the final stretch of the regular season?
Yeah. And that's, that we'll find out how well we did on this, but I know coach had a lot of get-togethers, a lot of come in and stay loose, and had a couple good practices. I know that we'll have a great practice today, and then we'll be ready to get after it. But like I said, this group of young men, I am so proud of, because it did not look good in the beginning. You got a brand new coach. Things weren't going well, and they really, really bought in to Coach White. And, and again, you never know. Some kids can stray away, and it's hard to get them back. But our seniors, they are totally bought into Coach White, and they really did a great job of corralling everybody. And we have been playing really well. Now the difficult part is, can we recapture that, like you said, after a week and a half being off? So we'll find that out starting out. But some good leadership, Austin Croner in the goal. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. I know this, he will be ready for sure to play. And if we don't give up any goals, we're going to be all right.
Kind of a similar story on the girls side. They've had some time off as well, and they're going to be back in action on a Tuesday as well. They're going to take on Mount Notre Dame on Tuesday, and that's always a big one. When you see the MND across from you, that's always a big deal. And then they'll take on Cincinnati Country Day on Saturday, early afternoon there. I'm curious there with the girls. The last time we saw them in action, they had that thrilling last-minute win against Lebanon on the road. You win that one 10-9, as you said. You get a last-minute goal to put you over the top to win that one and knock Lebanon from the ranks of the unbeaten at that time. How have the coaches gone about keeping that momentum going in this break? Because that can be a big deal, getting that last minute win or last second win in any sport and then carrying it into a break. How have they gone about trying to keep that vibe going and keep that momentum going, knowing that they had some time off and they've had, what will be, 11, 12 days to prepare for Mount Notre Dame on Tuesday?
Yeah, so that one is going to be interesting as well. There wasn't near as many. A lot of girls were gone. Okay, over break, so they didn't really have near as many get-togethers with things. But our coach Joe Hardiman has done a nice job with emailing and everything like that, making sure that the girls know, hey, listen, when we get back, you got to be ready to go. And what we don't want to do is we don't want to let all the momentum and all the positivity that they really developed that last week of the season there. We don't want to let that go by the wayside. We gotta find a way to build on that and keep getting after it. And tomorrow, tomorrow we'll find out. We'll find out. They'll have a good practice today and they'll get their minds ready and they'll share their spring break stories and all that. But most importantly, my hopes are we are ready to get back after it tomorrow for sure. Ryan Armstrong will be ready for sure. I know that. Reigning player of the week.
Looking at the way also, so they're building momentum. They're coming off the momentum. Obviously, your tennis team is doing the exact same thing, and they have been playing very, very well as of late. Most recently, 2 sweeps over Little Miami and Kings, which is always good to get the sweep, especially in league play. And that followed up 2 big 3-2 wins in the league against Bartels Road and Milford. So playing very, very well as of late. You look at the way things shake out as far as the schedule goes coming up. And right now, they're slated to go to Lakota East later on Monday afternoon. We'll see if Mother Nature allows that one to be played. But big focus this week, too, is you've got 2 more in the league. You've got West Claremont slated for Tuesday. And then obviously a big, big one, a road trip to Loveland on Thursday. They're looking to get back to the top of the mountain. Your team's a defending league champion. So that's going to be a big one. But as we also talked about, your team's coming in playing very, very well. 4 wins in a row, the last 2 via the sweep. How much do you think that confidence will play a factor, especially in that road trip to Loveland on this coming Thursday, which could go a big, big way in determining the shakeout of the league? I know we still have the matchup against Walnut Hills coming next week, and they're the other remaining unbeaten team in the league. But I have to imagine that confidence going into, is particularly the Loveland road trip, is going to be a huge factor.
Yeah, well, without a doubt. And I think the neat thing about this squad is they not only believe in themselves, but they believe in each other. And that's what's pretty cool. They had some practices, over the week, and I got the opportunity to go out and watch some practices, and they really, truly buy into each other. Ben Zhao, our number one, he's a great kid. And, he's just a junior, but he's the definition of a leader. And he's done a really good job with all of our Tristan Stanek and Allie Daly, all our singles players. They've done a good job of providing that, I guess, the confidence level, because they can go out. All 3 of them can win anytime. They can go out and get it done. But I tell you, the real surprise, and I know, our coach is super happy about Bradley Caldwell and Tommy Hadley, where they're playing at first doubles. So, if you do run up against that hammer at the number 1, and you can take 2 and 3, you go and get that first doubles and you get the 3-2 win. And again, it doesn't matter in tennis, you're winning 5-0, 4-1, or 3-2. You got to get 3, the first team to 3. And that's what our coach really focuses on. And that's what our kids focus on is, hey, let's get to 3 and let's get out of here and let's move to the next one. So like you said, I know the Walnut Hills is down the road, but I don't, they won't be focusing on that at all. They'll be focusing on, getting the paddle boats out and playing today at Lakota East. But then it'll be, it'll turn right to West Claremont, and then it'll giddy up. Here we go at Loveland, and get back after that. So it's a really, really, really good group. And hey, our coach Brent Johnson, he ain't gonna let anybody look down too far down the road. He'll remind them he's good, hard nosed, blue collar kind of guy. It's like you're going to play the game that you're slated to play today. You're not looking down the road.
Yeah, no doubt. And for fans out there who did not see the piece on Allie Daily that was written up by Mike Dyer this week, great article. It's a fascinating story about everything that Allie's gone through, her trials, her travels to get where she's at, and obviously doing a lot of great things. You can read that right now on AndersonRaptors.org. It's a fascinating story. And we've sung her praises multiple times here on the program in both the fall and now in the spring. It seems like no matter what she does it at a high level for sure. What's that like for you as an administrator to see a student athlete like Allie get this recognition like this, given everything that she's had to go through to get to Anderson, and then everything she's had to go through just within the last year of not being able to play in the fall with the girls, and now comes back here with the boys, and she just continues to just do what she does and just puts up big numbers.
I think the neat thing, first of all, I want to say thank you to Mike Dyer. What a great man, and what he does for high school sports. And, he certainly didn't have to come out here in the morning and do all that. There's plenty of stories out there, but he really saw that, what's going on with Allie is an awesome thing. And so I really appreciate him and his camera lady, Maddie, coming on out here. It was very nice of them. But I think the great thing about Allie is our kids struggle with dealing with adversity nowadays. And so many kids run away from adversity, and they don't have the coping skills to deal with it, unfortunately. And that's some of the issues that we're trying to work on. To see her deal with the adversity that she faced. And, we're just not talking last fall. We're also talking this fall, with some medical procedures and not being able to play again. And she kept a positive lookout. She's got a great family, and she just tried to stay positive and back out there on the courts. And to see when she was interviewed, she's a quiet young lady. She's not an outgoing hoot and holler, scream, or anything like that. So when Mike Dyer came and did this interview, you could see like a little gleam in her, a smile that really haven't seen a ton of. And it was like, all this hard work was worth it. And that was so neat to see that morning when she was talking with Mike. You could just see the fact that she thought all the work that she's put into to getting back out on the court, how the positivity that she kept, how it was just all worth it, and where she is now. And she's relishing, where she is right now, competing. And that's what she loves to do. It doesn't matter if it's against boy tennis players, girl tennis players, doesn't matter. She just loves to compete out on the tennis courts.
It's a fascinating story. Once again, AndersonRaptors.org is where you can go read more about this and about Allie and her journey and what she's doing, not only in the classroom, but also on the tennis court as well, because she's been fantastic in both areas since arriving at Anderson. AndersonRaptors.org is where you can keep up with everything involved with Anderson Athletics, including this podcast here each and every week. And our thanks once again to Anderson AD Chris Newton for joining us once again. Hopefully Mother Nature cooperates this week. Yes. We can get some games in, and we can yell even louder next week here on the Inside Anderson Raptors Athletics podcast. Once again here on AndersonRaptors.org and ESP Media, powered by Sidearm Sports.